My second selection is a short story from that collection of linked stories, a project I started working on some time ago and then put aside to work first on problems and then on the condor's shadow. Provisionally called Sand Soil Stories and based loosely on my childhood and youth in the desert country of California's San Joaquin Valley. It features the Woods family, Walter, Nell, and their two children, Lucy and Will. A version of this story was published in Home Planet News in 2004. It's called Shaver Lake, and the year is 1950. The four members of the Woods family rose before dawn to pack. This, their first vacation from the ranch, had somehow acquired the solemnity and importance of establishing a beachhead at Normandy. What was meant to be an opportunity for fun and relaxation was approached with a gravity usually reserved for, say, the coronation of a pope. It was almost noon. The August heat was bearing down, and they had neither eaten breakfast nor got underway. The two youngsters, Lucy and Will, 13 and 11, both of whom were fearing they might die of starvation, would have swallowed lye before complaining. It was rumored the destination was Shaver Lake, an idyllic fishing spot high in the Sierra Nevadas. Since fishing and hunting were Walter Wood's only diversions, that was clearly where he wanted to go. Where Nell, Mrs. Woods, wanted to go was less certain. It appeared to be a matter which could only be approached indirectly. Nell and Walter sat at the two far ends of the couch, negotiating, it appeared, from some script that called for frosty scowls and long periods of silence. "Wherever you want to go," said Nell. Was that sarcasm, he wondered? "Damn it, Mother, I've already told you. We don't have to go unless you want to. Where would you rather go? Just give me a clue and we'll go there instead." "Walt, as I told you, it's fine. If Shaver Lake is where you want to go, that's where we'll go. You're the one that works, so it's your vacation. You work hard on the ranch, every day. All I do is cook and clean and shop and sew and launder your dirty clothes. And put up fruit and stuff for us to last through the winter. It's your decision." Walter sighed and looked away, crossing his legs. The foot that rested on the floor began to tap. "Nell, you know I want you to be happy. You know that. What fun is it going to be for me to know that you're fretting because you'd rather be somewhere else?" Silence stretched out like an endless flat road. Nell stared out the window at a small boy drawing water from a spigot in the ground. The bucket he used was too big for him to carry, and he tumbled, drenching himself as well as the ground he landed on. To some it might have been amusing, but she didn't crack a smile. "I thought you liked fishing," said Walter. "I like it fine. Besides, it's where you want to go, and that's what's important." Walter stood and walked to the screen door, leaned against the door jamb, looking out. At one point he grabbed his hat and slipped outside, hunkering down on the straggling lawn to pick distractedly at clumps of crabgrass. Presently he returned, took off his hat, leaned against the door again, looking at his wife as if she were some strange creature he had dragged up from the bottom of a lake. "Nell, where would you like to go?" "I've already told you. We'll go wherever you say." "Jesus! Walter Woods, think of the children. Being angry at me is no reason to swear in front of them." "Ah, shit. I mean, shoot. Okay, since you bring them up, where do they want to go? Will, what about you? Don't you want to go fishing? Oh, sure, thought the boy silently. Bring me into this. He was sorry he'd been caught listening. Whatever you guys decide is fine, he said, and immediately withdrew. Lucy? Will, slinking down the hallway toward the bathroom, heard his father call out to his sister, I'll be happy anywhere, Daddy, you know that. When she passed the doorway to the bathroom on her own retreat, seeking a place of safety, she saw Will at a perilous angle, leaning against the shower stall with his arms crossed. She looked in at him, shook her head, and rolled her eyes. After a long silence, Walter asked again, Nell, is there somewhere you would rather go? San Francisco, maybe, to see Thurston and Alberta, or Phil and Loretta? I never said any such thing. We can see them any time. If we don't see them this year, we'll see them the next, or the year after that. Besides, San Francisco's a long drive. You know you don't want to drive all that way in traffic and all. Will, still able to hear the clamorous voices from down the hall, lay down on his bed and stared at the ceiling. Parents! If he banged their heads together, would that help? He wanted to scream. Instead, he closed his eyes. He could see the insides of his eyelids bright with crisscrossed red lines. Suddenly, outside, dogs exploded into furious barking. Will sat up and looked out the window. A man and a woman circled each other in the middle of the dirt between Wood's Quonset hut and theirs, shouting. Grover and Leona Pickett, a couple known to the whole camp. Leona's dress was ripped almost in two, and her bare and very pregnant belly protruded from the slit. She brandished a cast-iron skillet, while Grover clutched a bottle of liquor. His shirt was missing, and his suspenders hung down around his knees. Only his paunch kept his trousers from dropping in the dirt. The Picketts had 7 children, ranging from a boy Lucy's age, named Bubba, down to a boy of 2 with an assortment of girls in between. Some of them were outside at this moment, pleading with their parents to stop. Will recognized Sissy from his class in school. You pig motherfucker! Leona screamed at her husband. You ain't knocked me up enough! Go find you a Mexican you want to hump all the time, you piece of dog shit! Whore! Grover shouted. Sorriest thing I ever did was to bring you here. Too damn lazy to live is what you are. Should have left you back in Arkansas. He moved menacingly toward her. She raised her skillet. Keep away from me, you slimy bastard! From his vantage point in the bedroom, Will heard the wood screen door bang, and through the window, into his field of vision, came his father on a dead run. Before Walter could reach them, Grover found his wife's belly with a sharp kick. She clutched herself and went down, dropping her weapon. He kicked her again, hard, the toe of his boot burying itself in the swell of her womb. And again. Before he could manage a 4th jolt, however, Will's father was on him. He spun Grover around, put his foot against the drunkard's midsection, and catapulted him toward the side of his house. Grover hit the wall and slowly slid down onto his backside. The liquor bottle lay spilling in the dust. Walter knelt beside Leona, and soon a crowd collected around her, Nell included. Will could see Grover struggle up and slink back into his house. Other neighbors in the camp, everyone knew Walter was supposed to be on vacation, took over the job of getting Leona to the hospital, assuring him, and Nell too, who was still comforting Leona, that they would take care of everything. And thus it was that half an hour later, the Woods family was on their way to Sugar Lake. The children noticed that their parents talked sweetly to each other during the whole trip, remarking often on the beauty of the scenery and the sweetness of the air at the higher elevations. When the family returned a week later, they learned that Leona had survived, but her baby had not.